Mute themselves. Okay. All right, guys, welcome to our workshop. As I stated earlier, it's been over a year since we did one of those. So bear with us if we don't look like, if we don't look like what we've been doing, right? So how to build a compliant, credible, and fundable company. So this is the workshop that I hope that you guys came to attend. And this is the information that we're going to talk about. So building a compliant, credible, and fundable company, right? And so I'm going to talk about protecting your corporate veil. And then there's 20 do's to establish a credible company. And then we're going to talk about securing finance, right? Okay, so those are the things that we're going to talk about. First things first, you want to set up a tax-wise business, C Corp, LLC, limited partnership, S Corp, sole proprietorship, not-for-profit. So these are definitely business structures. And so let's talk about those business structures right quick. Did you guys see that? Did y'all see my slideshow? No? Okay.
No,
right.
we're not seeing anything.
Okay, good. I'm just talking. Like I told you, don't it's been a while since I've been in the saddle. Okay, so all right, so here we go. Do that again. All right, so we're going to be talking about building a compliant, credible, and fundable company. We're going to talk about protecting your corporate veil, and we're going to talk about 20 do's to establish a credible company. These 20 items or things that the lender look for to give you money. So these must be established prior to you going to secure some financing, right? So we're going to talk about securing financing. And first things first, set up a tax-wise business, a C Corp, LLC. LP is limited partnership. There's family limited partnerships. S corporations, you could be a sole proprietorship. You can be a not-for-profit. These are all structures, right? So how does that apply for a tax consequences? So everyone familiar with the C corporation? This is interactive now. Take a little moment to be interactive. And Ernest?
Yes, I've.
You familiar with the C corporation?
Not DC, but the LLC.
Okay, the LLC. Okay, so the C corporation is the corporate structure, the #1 corporate structure for building wealth. All Fortune 500 corporations are in a C corporation, right? Some of the challenges for a startup company with a C corporation is double taxation, right? Where you will be taxed and the company will be taxed. So that's some of the drawbacks of starting a C corporation. But keep in mind that this is the #1 wealth building structure in America, right? For companies. All right, so keep that in mind. So then C corporation, then you can have a C corporation look like a S corporation. And so it doesn't stand for anything, just subchapter S. And that means that it's going to be treated differently for tax purposes with the Internal Revenue Service, right? So let's back up and say, when you incorporate a business, it's incorporated at your state level, and then it's taxed at the federal level. So you got two considerations when you set up a business. How do I want it to look in the state, and how do I want it to be taxed with the IRS, right? So those are very important considerations. So virtually what a C corporation that you make a S corporation, it looks like a LLC, right? So that's why LLCs are becoming so important, right? LLC stands for limited liability company, right? And so what it is, it's a pass-through company, meaning that the expenses, the income, all passed down to the owners. So there's no double taxation. There's no taxation at the corporate level, at the company level, and the personal level. So it just, that's why one of the reasons that is popular, right? C corporation, S corporation, LLC is the most popular structure that I find that people set themselves into by the advice of their tax preparer or their CPA. Any questions about those structures, right? The company is set up at the state level, and then you tax at the federal level by the Internal Revenue Service. So if you want, in the beginning of starting a company up, you don't have a lot of profits, right? So you want to take advantages of those expenses. So this will inform the type of company that you want to set up. Okay, so unless you you got an angel investor or you're going on Shark Tank or something, and some people are going to give you tens of millions of dollars, you don't need a C corporation, right? So the LLC. Any questions on those three structures? C corporation, S corporation, LLC. All right, set up at the state level, taxed at the federal level. Okay, now myself personally, Joshua Pondexter, and my company Stone Consulting LLC, we're very bullish on the LLC, the limited liability company. Why? Because it's a very powerful setup when you set this organization up. When you are, because number one, we talked about the corporate veil, right? The corporate veil protects you from the outside world, right? Somebody try to sue you, that's when your corporate veil comes into play. Okay, so now the LLC has a corporate veil and they have charging orders, right? The C corporation, except for 2 of the 50 states, have charging orders. But what the charging orders are, it protects you from activities you do outside your business. So I'm driving my car and I'm in a car accident, my fault. The person, it's an accident, the person dies, right? I'm not going to jail, but they're going to sue me. And vehicular accident or manslaughter, whatever, is about a $2 million claim. I only got $1 million on my insurance. So where's that other million going to come from? They're going to come from my personal assets, and they come from my business assets. So what those charging orders do from activities I do outside of my business, it gives me protection. The corporate veil give me protection for my business activities. Is that clear? Right? That's one of the reasons that the LLC is superior to any other structure. The other reason is that it's a wonderful startup business to start your business, because anytime in the future, year 1, year 3, year 5, when you grow your profits, you can then switch that LLC to be taxed with the Internal Revenue Service as a C corporation or an S corporation. No other. That's what makes it so powerful as a business strategy, as a setup, because you're not gonna, I don't know, unless you have a sole proprietorship, which most salespeople do, and most salespeople who are making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, and they start a business, put a business structure, then they might want to go with a C corporation or S corporation. But when you're starting from scratch, it's the best structure for you to set up. Any questions?
Yes. So at what point, Joshua, would you suggest a business owner then switching from an LLC to a C Corp?
Okay, excellent question. And and there are guidelines, and they're normally dollar guidelines, right? 100,000, 300,000, $1 million of income, right? That's income is a guideline. Another guideline is employees, right? Okay, so if you begin to add employees, 1 employee, 3 employees, 100 employees, right? So these guidelines determine when you will make that switch, right? So it's not necessarily it's not unnecessary that you switch, because this is this third reason is after the camera go off. But so in the 4th and 5th reason, we'll put a pin in that. But just to say, when you would make that switch is based upon your revenue and based upon your employees, right? And say, for instance, you want to have a cafeteria plan. What's that consist of? Is profit sharing. I want a reimbursement plan for my vehicle, for my travel. So if I want to set all that up, I have to set up a C corporation. If I want to issue very exotic forms of stock, right? Not only just regular stock, but if I want to break it up to A shares, B shares, preferred stock, then the corporation is for that structure, right? You're very complicated, right?
Okay.
But trust me, we can guide you through it.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to what we're talking about. So the first, I don't want to go too far because I want you guys to get all this information you get. That's protect. So we're talking about compliance, right? That's the number one. So we talked about the corporate veil. So what is compliance, right? There's corporate formality that you must keep to protect your corporate veil. You got to, first of all, you got to set this company up correctly, right? So a lot of times I get clients like, oh, I got an LLC, I got an EIN number, I got a bank account. You know, I'm like, you ain't got nothing. You're not even compliant, right? Where's your operating agreement? Where's your stock certificate? Are you keeping minutes, right? So those are the compliance piece. So you got to start compliance. So when I set up a company, which I do those for my clients, I'll formulate your LLC, grab your EIN number, get you operating agreements, get you stock certificates, and get you minutes, right? So once we get all that in place, we have signed and dated our operating agreement. We have issued ourselves stock to our companies, and then we will have our first meeting to to see who would be the financial institution for our company. That must be in your record, right? You can't do that by yourself. That must be a corporate decision. That's not a personal decision. Don't run down there to the bank without it's been authorized by the executives of the company, right? You follow me? I know this is all new information because you know
yes, I can.
Yeah, a lot of people ain't even doing it like this. And so we said, well, Joshua, I've been in business for 20, 30 years and I haven't had any problems. Kudos. But if you have one problem, it can send you out of business. And there's a law called I can't think of it right now, but what it is you operating your business as yourself, right? And so if you're not compliant, you're not keeping these compliance year after year after year, right? I think of it before I end this this workshop, right? Alter ego, law of alter ego. You're running that business like your alter ego. And so if you get sued, the opposing counsel are going to ask for these things. They're going to ask for your operating agreement, which should be for a single person, it should be a robust one, at least 30 plus pages, right? You're going to ask for your stock certificate. You'll ask for your minutes to make sure that the major decisions that you're making in this company have been compliant. You see how we must keep compliance to keep that corporate veil? Right? Okay, cool. All right. Any questions on compliance? No. Okay, good. So it's a big deal, right? Credible. All right. So there's 20 compliant items or 20 credibility items that we need to establish for our company to make it credible. So let's look at this. I have, oops. No. I'm telling you guys, you guys hanging there with me because I told you I ain't did this in over a year, so I might not look like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, but we at it.
You good, you good.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Michelle. So here we are sharing this thing here. So can you guys see that? An overview of 20 points needed to obtain business funding. This is so number one, state records. Your entity must be open, active, and good standing. So that means with the state of Illinois, the state of Texas, whatever state you in, your entity, LLC, C corporation, must be active, open, and good standing. They must be able to go there and see that. You got to have a federal employer's identification number, right? Bank account, right? The day you open your bank account is the day your business starts. So there are people who set up a business and they wait year one, year two before they go get an account, not understanding that this is the date that for the lender is concerned, this is when your business started. I don't know if you guys remember the PPP loan. If anybody applied for it, that's the first thing they wanted to see, your bank accounts. So they can see that you had an open business bank account during 2019, 2020, right? To get some money. And that disqualified a ton of people for getting some of that money that they was handing out, right? And so business licenses, all applicable business license must be filed. So if you're a plumber, electrician, or whatever your profession, beautician, you must have your business licenses, right? DBA, any DBAs must be on all state, federal, and banking records. So doing business as, why would you have a DBA? The only reason I can think of you would have a DBA if you're a McDonald's franchisee, right? If you're a franchisee, McDonald's, Subway are not going to let you put no credit in their name, right? So you're doing business as. You need a separate business phone. Your business must have its own phone number and fax machine, right? That's a big deal with the lender, right? These are things that credibility that makes 1-800 numbers better, right? So I have a business line. It rings to my cell phone, right? So that's how we can show you how to get around that. 411 directive, business phone number must be listed with the 411 under exact legal name. So listen, you must be direct. Stone Consultant LLC, we're in the 411 directory, national and local, right? All right, so we're gonna go over these quickly and we're gonna come back and do them again. Experian, right? So in the business credit world, there are 3 business bureaus, just like in the personal. The Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, and Equifax. So Experian Commercial, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, right? So these are 3 bureaus that you must have. Open, with credit history and a good score, trying to get some money. If you're trying to get your business funded. So listen, we want you guys to take these good notes, but you want this the sheet here. You go to my website, joshuapondexter.com, and shoot an inquiry with your email, and I mail it to you, right? So you need those 3 bureaus, not only just Dun & Bradstreet. Most people have heard of Dun & Bradstreet. That's just one. There's 2 others. A physical address, right? You cannot use a post office box. You cannot use your home address. You cannot use FedEx. It must be a physical address. And there's so many companies out here that's offering that service for $50 or $90 a month. There's no reason not to have one, right? Number 13, bank rating. Your business bank rating must be a minimum of a low 5. Did you know that you have a rating with the bank, right? What does that mean, Joshua? Well, what it means, you got to have some money in the bank. You ain't got no money in the bank, you ain't got no rating. So to get a low 5, that's about $10,000 normally. But if you look at your bank and your bank tell you that you will get a fee if you keep less than $20,000 with them between all your accounts, that's their ratings, right? Okay, so you must keep this money in the bank. You cannot, when you're trying to get your company funded and you're trying to have your company credible, you cannot have no NSF, right? Non-sufficient funds. Can't have none of those. You better borrow some money from somebody, right? You cannot have that stuff. Tax returns, all applicable tax return must be filed. You're trying to be credible, get some money. Public records, there can be no lien, judgment, list pendings, right? List pending is a Latin word that means lawsuits, right? So you cannot be in lawsuits trying to get some money, right? Credit card, have at least 3 business credit card with payments made early. Vendors credit, at least 5 vendor lines of credit with payments made early. Number 19, comparable credit, a large loan from a non-bank lender with payments made early. Bank loan securing a small business loan with payment made early. So those are the 20 compliant items to get your business. And so once you get all those requirements, we're talking about getting $500,000 million. This is the SBA guidelines, right? So the reason that people got money from the Small Business Administration, they didn't get it from them. That was that stimulus money, that money coming from that giveaway money from the government, right? So, oh, I got an SBA loan. No, that was giveaway money that the government was giving away, and then they was charging us for it, right? Is that crazy? Then they tax us. So I'm gonna, so we're about,
Joshua,
yeah,
not to cut you off, can you put that
form.
that sheet back up that had, I wanted to write down point number 20 and I couldn't, I didn't get it written
Yeah,
down.
no problem.
Can you
Like
put that back up for a second?
No, I got you. So like I said, was that you're gonna go to joshuapondexter.com.
Oh, okay,
And you're gonna
okay, I
put an
can do that.
inquiry, and I'm gonna send you the sheet, right?
Okay,
So securing a small bank loan with payment made early. So let's say that how you do that. That $20,000 that you got sitting in the bank, you put it in one of their non-yielding interest accounts called a CD, and then you borrow against that money, right? That's how you get it. So it's little hacks to these 20 compliant items, right? So like I said, we're recording this. We're going to give you some information, and then we're going to break all this stuff down, because that Small Business Administration criteria is the reason that you're not getting your business funded at the tune. You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. You can't hear me? I don't know why.
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
okay.
you good.
All right. So that's the reason that you're not getting your business funded to the tune of $500,000, $1 million, $3 million, right? So you can't do nothing with no 50,000.
I'm not able to hear you.
You can't hear me?
I'm not able to hear you.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I hear you fine.
I
Okay.
hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Can you
Yeah, I
hear
can hear you. I hear you
Sure.
fine.
Geraldine? Can you hear them? Okay. Let's just.
I hear you fine.
Okay, yeah, she just can't hear me. But that's fine. So what you gonna do with $50,000 from Bank of America for a small business loan, right? You can't get nothing moving with that. So we want to show you how to make that money, get some money, some real money in your pocket, so that you can do something with it. So so when we talk about specifically in our community, we're just going to go through this really quickly. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a dearth of Black businesses. If you want to set one up, these numbers are extremely off. We have $1.6 trillion of spending, Black people in America. This is the 5th largest gross domestic product in the world. We have more financial resources than Russia, and the reason that they're scared of Russia because they're unified. Just think if we were unified as a people, right? So consumer category, dry vegetables and grain, we spend almost 500 million in that. Baby foods, right? 517 million. I started a baby food company because my son keep making babies. So personal soap and bath, Daphne, 1.3 billion. So my my grandsons, their mom, she makes those soaps and soap bombs and stuff like that. So, you know, we're definitely advising her and encouraging her in that business. Shelf-stable juices and drinks. Don't be laughing at them 2.3 billion. So these are some areas. Don't be laughing at them guys who are out there selling water on the street, right? They're making money. So there's some alkaline water companies. You can buy you one of those water machines and make you some alkaline water, right? So there's great opportunities in our community for businesses, right? So once again, Stone Consulting LLC, this is me. We're available for consultation. You get a 50 minutes consultation where we can take you from concept to startup to funding in your business, right? So I don't really know how long I've been on here, but we definitely didn't want to stay no more than half an hour or so, because now we want to open up for some Q&A. But here's the deal. You know, we actually go to my YouTube channel, Joshua Pondexter. Everything on social media is my name. Apparently, I love my name, and you're gonna see my pictures too, because I love my pictures. So what? Hey, you know, you're gonna see it's me, right? And we ask you subscribe, like, and share. We have some content up there already. We have a show. Can you see that? Ask Joshua, right? That's my Facebook show that we do on Facebook, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on Fridays. We're gonna start back kicking that off. That show was started originally about asking financial questions, but now it's more about personal development, right? So this is where you'll see me put on my my coaching business, personal coaching hat to give you strategies, tactics, and processes to help you grow your business, develop your life, things of that nature. So we want to thank you for tuning in. Once again, we want you to like, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, peace, love, and soul.